I am back again for page 5 of the Winter Wings and Wishes mini album. This one is pretty basic, it's quite easy, it's just getting the measurements right. So you start off with your base page, and all of my odd numbered base pages, that's the front facing base pages, I have no tags, it's just the base page, which is 5 7/8 by 8 1/4 inches. So that's my base page. Apart from that, you will need 2 pieces of paper, card. The first one is 9 inches by 7 3/8 of an inch. On the 7 3/8 of an inch side, you want to score it at 3/4 of an inch and 6 5/8 of an inch. So 6 5/8, 3/4. On the 9 inch side, you want to score it at 4 1/8 of an inch and 8 1/4 inches. That's that piece. The second piece you'll need will be 10 1/4 inches by 6 3/4 inches. On the 6 3/4 inch side, score it at 3/4 of an inch and 7/8 of an inch. And on the 10 1/4 inch side, score it at 4 inches and 8 1/8 of an inch. That's it. Okay, so on the first piece, this is going to be a side loading pocket. So it's a pocket that's side loading, but it's also a pocket. Okay, so what I have to do here is remove some of the tabs, and I've already started because I wanted to remember to put in a little bit here so that I knew that that was my opening and everything else. Anyway, so what you want to do on this piece is remove just these corner segments. So the 2 squares up here, so I've got the flap here, and I've got my score lines here, and I want to take off just these 2 corners, this one and this one. So I'm going to cut that out here and that out here, and the same for the bottom half, but obviously these are much bigger tabs, and I want to take off these 2 bits. So all I'm going to be left for tabs is the middle section here will have a tab each side. So save me waffling, let me get on and do that. If I can see what I'm doing, and I can't, get that crease line in so that I can see where I'm going. Okay, so that's my 2 little squares there. And for the 2 larger rectangles on the other end. One there, and that one there. Okay. So, that's that one. And I've cut out a small bit here because this is going to be the opening for this pocket at the side. So this will go like this and like this. Okay, easy peasy. Right, for my second piece, this one's slightly easier. What I'm going to do is the 3/4 and 7/8 of an inch score line here, let's be this way around, 3/4 and 7/8 of an inch score line, I want to remove up to the second score line. So the 7/8 of an inch score line, I want to take off a tab at the top and a tab at the bottom, but leave the tab at the side intact. So up to the 7/8 of an inch score line, there and there, and then remove the tabs up to that second score line, just on the top and bottom, so that my middle tab is intact. Okay, and this one, once again, put it round this way. So I've got my tab here on the side and my smaller flap at the bottom. Fold that back, fold that up, and then that goes back. So this is going to go onto my page. I'm going to have this will be a pocket that opens up, and there'll be a tuck spot at the side here with a small 1/8 of an inch gusset. And what I'm also going to do is I'm just going to take this in slightly, because when you take off this bit, this tuck spot, you want to make sure there is none of the score line left. So take it right up so there's no score line left at all, so that when it sits here, there's nothing to interfere with this flap. And I've also placed a magnet here to remind me, there's 2 magnets here, that this is where my magnet is going, and I've put a small piece of double-sided tape on the bottom of this flap, because it doesn't quite reach here, there's a small gap, and on the middle flap, here, opposite this spare flap at the side, so on the opposite end, I've done my little half circle. Okay, base page done. So for my first one, I'm going to take this one, which I've put in my decorative edge. Actually, I think, no, I will do that later. Before I glue it down fully, I will back this with a bit of thin cardstock so that it's easier to use, because obviously I don't want it getting caught on these bits here when I put in the tags in and out. Okay, so this, I'm going to squash that down so that I can see that second score line. Double-sided tape. I'm trying not to go over my score line. I can't see very well, the light's absolutely awful. Get another piece in there, I think. That should be thin enough. Okay. Because this is a pocket and it's a flap, I want to put on that extra little bit just to make sure it's going to stay. Okay, I'm just going to mitre my edges slightly. Move my tape backing. So I want to make sure I can see both those score lines, because I don't want to stick my gusset down. I want my gussets to be free. Okay, a little bit of glue on the back here. And making sure that this tuck spot is at the bottom when it's turned over. I'm going to add it to the top of my page. I'm trying to do this as neatly as I can. Not very successfully. There we go, that's better. That's much better. Okay. So I don't forget, I am going to get my magnet on there ready. Being very careful to line it up because I don't, obviously I want my gusset to be open. I don't want my gusset squashed. So making sure that this edge meets the end of the page and doesn't go over, that's where I'm placing my magnet, and that should be fine. There we go. Okay, second piece. This one's slightly more complicated. But first of all, let's move this to one side. I want to put adhesive on here, so double-sided tape. And this is just to make the pocket. So I'm going to mitre these edges a little bit. I'm not doing very well with tape today. So I feel like I'm being very, very slow today. So I do apologise. Extra bit of tape. There we go. Okay, let's get this tape backing off. Pop on a little bit of glue. And pop this pocket together. Okay, so next I want to make sure that I've got my opening at the front here. I forgot to put in, that's not good, is it? Right, I'm just going to run a little bead of glue along the bottom here because I forgot to put tape on my bottom. Okay. Okay, so making sure that the pocket opening is towards the right, I'm going to tuck these flaps underneath and then double-sided tape on this one too. once again, I'm just going to put an extra little bit on there. This tape is almost as useful as a chocolate teapot. The tape keeps on coming off the backing before I want it to. Okay. Let's mitre those edges. And then before I forget, I'm just going to turn this over and put a little bit of tape along the bottom. I have not been treating my tape very well. It's all stuck together. Okay, so you can run this tape along the bottom. Okay, tape backing off. My page ready, and this one's going to go at the bottom so that the pocket is going to be here, open in the middle. Let's line this up at the bottom. There should be, if I've done it right, a small gap, a very small gap in between. There we go. That's it. So this flap opens up, and there's going to be a tuck spot here. Oh, I haven't put that down yet. That's it. I'm not going to put that down until I have decorated that bit. But before I forget, I am going to run a bead of glue just down here to close that pocket at the bottom. Okay. And this is a full width pocket that's also a side pocket. So, like I said, pretty simple and easy one this time. Not very many pieces, and everything comes into play with the mats and tags, which I've done already. So I've got a couple of these are just card toppers, and just some, as you can see, I've chosen a finch to be my main, oh dear, to be my main picture, and I've chosen this one. But what I've done, because I didn't want the finch to be cut in half, I didn't want to cut through his head, I cut out a section to use, because I didn't want him being all and this one goes down here, yeah. And then I've cut out one of the snowflakes from the Sweet Dixie dies, which is just going to go over there, just to give you that little bit of a pattern bit there. So, and I have made one of those books, which is probably going to be too thick to use. And all this is... Last night I was just mucking around with scrap paper, and I do have a lot of scraps and I don't like throwing them away. So I made a little book with little tiny tags and pockets in, just for fun. This opens up, and then this opens up. Cute, isn't it? And there's two little pockets there, two separate pockets, and then it opens up again. Yeah, these pockets just have little handmade tags in, and they tightly fit in there and then onto the back. So that's what I was doing last night, instead of catching up on what was on the telly. So this was actually made to go at the tug spot back. I don't think it's going to fit. I'm pretty sure it's going to be too thick, even with my little gusset, because so the gusset at the top is only an 1/8 of an inch, so this will probably pretty much bow that out quite a bit. So I'll find somewhere to put it. Okay, so I am going to decorate, and then I'll be back to show you how it all looks all complete. Here we are, all done. I won't be using this, it doesn't fit, it's too bulky. I might make a smaller booklet. I do have another one of these little these little card toppers left, so I could make another little book. What I'll do with this one, I don't know. Okay, so I haven't done the glossy accents and I haven't done my embellishments, but everything else is done. So the top and the bottom pockets both have the same tag in them, and I just put a little pearl on the side there, I just thought it looked pretty on the tag, and I put the half snowflake on the edge just to give it a bit of decoration. The top half opens, there's a little tuck spot there, room to put a few things in. This doesn't open, it's just an extra pocket, and I've got in there photo mat and a little photo booklet. So, and when these go in, I have to make sure that I'm not covering up my magnet, which is right here on the edge and here. So page 5 done. How quick was that? Be back again for page 6 soon. Bye for now.